Christmas is almost over, and as you can see, at Christmas time, people's favourite happens to be the Christmas cake. As you can see, our Christmas cake is almost completely finished, really, but it was a cracker. At Christmas time, you can buy marzipan, commercial marzipan. This year, as you can see, around there, I made my own almond marzipan. It was lovely, really, really lovely. And today, I'm going to be making some New Year's kind of marzipan sweets. And once you've made this marzipan, you will definitely not go back to commercial marzipan. Okay, so we're in the kitchen. If you just take a look at our ingredients here, we've got 275 grams of caster sugar, 350 grams of ground almonds, that's why it's decanted into bowls, 225 grams of sieved icing sugar. You're going to take 3 teaspoons of almond extract, the juice of a lemon, and to dip, we're going to be dipping the marzipan in some very luxury dark chocolate. Now, I'm using 85% cocoa solids. Now, you could go up to 99 or even 100% cocoa solids. The higher the percentage, the better, and the better the contrast with the sweet of the marzipan and the bitterness of the chocolate will be. But for the meantime, we're going to use 85. So now, you just want to sieve your icing sugar into a relatively large bowl. Mix in your 350 grams of ground almonds. You want to just put that to the side for a minute, clear your surface, and just give your lemon a little roll first, because by doing this you soften up the lemon and you get the more juice out of it instead of having a rock solid lemon. So just give it a little roll on the table. Don't push it too hard, otherwise you'll squeeze all the juice out of it. Then you just want to slice it down the middle, like that. Break it and just squeeze it on a zester. For this recipe, you can use egg whites to combine the mixture, but I'm not. I'm just going to use a little bit of water. So you just want to pour your lemon juice into the water and just give that a little mix around in there. And now all you're going to do really is pour this in here gradually and mix it with a spoon until it combines to be a sticky but quite stretchable mixture. So just keep mixing, and obviously if you add too much water you can add more icing sugar, and just really keep mixing. And when you're at this kind of stage, this is where you want to add your almond mixture. So it's just 4 teaspoons. Now this is quite thick, so don't worry about spilling it. That's 4 teaspoons of this. Well, if you were here now, you could smell how lovely this smells. 3. I'm just going to do 3 for now, because it is quite strong stuff. And then again, just continue to mix this. And when you're getting quite close with this, like this kind of consistency, you want to then dive in there with your hands, give it a real good mix with your hands. I think this could do with just a little bit more almond, so I'm just going to add a bit more. And like I said earlier, just add to taste. If you want a lot of almond in there, you can put a lot of almond in there. Now we're going to need our marzipan. You just want to get some icing sugar and sprinkle it on the table like that, and then just tip your marzipan straight out onto it like that, and then just get kneading it. And you only want to do this because it's not a bread, so you only want to do this for about 1 to 2 minutes until you're done. Once you've finished kneading your marzipan, you just want to grab yourself off a bit of cling film, pop it straight into the fridge for about an hour, and all that does is it leaves time for the ground almonds to soak up the moisture of the lemon juice in the water, just to make your mixture a bit more drier, so for when you're rolling it out later on. Well, I've just tempered my chocolate, which basically means you melt the chocolate to 55 degrees, you then let it cool completely, and then you bring it back up to 22 degrees, and just by doing this you get a really nice glossy looking chocolate. And all that will do is just, when you've dipped your marzipan in it, it will just give it a really nice, just glossy finish, and it will just look really, really professional. So as you can see on the thermometer, I'm just waiting it to get to about 50 degrees, and then I just let it cool completely, then bring it back up to 22. Here's my marzipan that's just been in the fridge for an hour, and that's my main one. I'm just going to pop that to the side for a minute, and I'll be using that later on. For the meantime though, I've just broken off a little bit of marzipan, and for a different flavour, I'm just going to be adding a teaspoon of Taylor's port to it. This will just give it an unusual but quite a nice flavour. So just a trickle of port in there, like that, and then just knead it into the marzipan so the marzipan just soaks up all that port. Now, because it's a little bit wet and you don't want to be working with wet marzipan, you might want to add a bit of icing sugar. But yeah, this will add a lovely flavour. So I'm just kneading this marzipan with port on a little bit of icing sugar, so the port just goes throughout the whole marzipan, you know, so it really does give it a lovely flavour. Port, claret and fortified wine really, really, really work well with a high solid cocoa chocolate. This is why these port marzipan sweets are just going to taste absolutely fantastic. They're just going to be the bee's knees, or whatever you want to call them, but they are going to taste really, really good. So here's my tempered chocolate. Like I said, brought it up, brought it down so it's got a glossy finish. All you want to do now is break off a small piece of marzipan, have some icing sugar, just grab a little bit for your fingers so it doesn't stick to your hand. You want to roll it into a ball, like that. Put a bit more icing sugar in the palm of your hand, because now you're just going to press down gently on the marzipan, like that, until it becomes a relatively flat ball, like that. And then all you're going to do is come across and just coat it in your lovely rich dark chocolate. And then just do that, make any shapes and sizes you like. I'm just doing another shape now. I call this like a little teardrop kind of shape. And just dip the bottom again in the chocolate and just place to set. And then once you've made a few of these, you want to put them in the fridge for the chocolate to just harden, and just enjoy with anything really. Happy Christmas and a very happy New Year.